So we're back with another record, but this time it's not a personal record. It's a record for the longest golf hole in the world. Any guesses?
I think around 750 yards.
It's actually much longer. It's 964. It's
Wow.
a course in Japan at Satsuki Golf Course. Any guesses what par it is?
I mean, I think because a par 5 is around 550 to 600 yards, say 9.
No, you're going to have to do a little bit better on your distances on this hole. It's actually only a 7.
Okay.
So you got 7 strokes to get 964, which sounds daunting, which brings me to my more important question. On a 964-yard par 7, what do you think you're scoring?
Well, let me see. If best case scenario, I get it 290 to 300 off the tee. Let's just say 300 to make it easier. Hit my 3-wood about 250. So I'm at 550 and then 800 if I do it again. Oh man. So yeah, I don't know, but a lot can go wrong on those long shots. So I think I'm going to be conservative. I would get an 8 or a 9.
Well, I think you can get par. Come on now. I think you can get par. This hole for me is, I honestly don't think I could think of like a worse nightmare because the chances that I will top something with like 3 to 4 approach shots, like it's going to make it feel like it's 1,500 yards. So this is my actual worst nightmare. This is one where I like start crying and I score a 14 on.
A local municipal golf course says it's been overrun by what some are calling, quote, hack golfers.
Has the game grown too much? Do we need more scratch golfers? I'm telling you, hacks slow the game down. You can't grow golf if people are chunking it into the weeds all day.
Scratch player?
Hey everybody, it's Dez, and welcome back to the Hack and Scratch podcast, episode number 6. Casey, it was really great to walk Riviera with you yesterday. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm a little tired as I had to drive home immediately after the tournament. My legs were pretty sore. I got plenty of steps, but just to be around Riviera again, like that's a tournament I've been going to since I was a kid. It was always a good time. I had so much fun.
I haven't even had an opportunity to tell you my journey home, which, was a lot shorter than yours, but boy, was it more eventful. So, warning to our listeners, expired sunscreen loses its ability to reduce the chemicals that harm your eyes. So over course of a couple years expiration, it loses its ability to protect your skin and your eyes. And I know you saw me on the course like tearing up. Well, I had a reaction from hell on the way home. I was pulled over on Crenshaw Boulevard in the place that you don't want to be pulled off, and I'm just crying my eyes out. And something about the sunscreen getting into and I had to look all this up yesterday, but it was horrible.
Oh my God. And I mean, I can verify that because when I first saw you in the morning, it looked like something tragic had happened as your eyes were very red. And just so everyone knows, the minute we walked through the gates, you immediately went to the bathroom. And I was like, what is going on? And throughout the rest of the day, I did see you kind of wiping your eyes. So I was like, wow, that's really...
Just a really emotional experience for me at Riviera. Don't get it twisted. I'm just making this all up just so I can cover up my tracks from how beautiful that course was. No, I was going through it yesterday, but battled through. Man. That's what we do. And we got to watch some golf, and I was just wiping my eyes, be like, yeah, Rory's going to do so good.
Oh, man.
God, yeah. Anyways, glad you made it home safe. I made it home a little less safe.
Yeah, that's too good.
Well, we're burying the lead. We really followed that group for majority of the round, but we got to see firsthand experience Jacob Bridgman come into his own, get his first PGA win, and have to do it alongside none other than Rory McIlroy, who did put up a good fight. We said he probably left a couple out there. It probably could have made the difference, but nonetheless, I mean, an incredible job by Jacob Bridgman. I mean, you got Rory chipping in from the sand from like 50, 60 feet away. It's just like that's where it starts to feel really a pressure-filled environment. And so to see Bridgman do that and overcome that, unbelievable win.
Absolutely. I mean, and to do it at a place like Riviera and the Genesis, tournament host Tiger Woods, like what a dream. We were standing on 18 for those finishing 2 putts. That second putt had a little bit of meat on it, but he handled it very well. But what was really cool is we were standing on the 18th green and I turned up towards the clubhouse and you see Tiger just standing there, arms crossed, waiting to congratulate the champion. And just what a way to really to bag your first tournament and $4 million at the same time. Yeah, he clearly didn't play the way that he wanted to throughout the whole day, but he kept his composure. Like he didn't have anything really blow up like we've seen other players do when they have a lead like that. So yeah, I mean, Kurt Kitayama made it very interesting in those last few holes. And I think he may have shot like 7 or 8 under on the day, like really 7. Yeah, incredible. And, there were definitely some opportunities for people to overtake him, but he was pretty cool as a cucumber and able to get it done. So really cool, really happy for him. We were hoping for kind of an exciting ending, and things did get interesting where we were able to see it firsthand.
Yeah, we were staying on 18 when the final putt dropped, but what I did think was a little unfair and it happened to him all day. But of course, playing alongside Rory, no matter if you hit it inside Rory, Rory's going to get the bigger cheers. And of course, Rory sinks a seemingly meaningless long birdie attempt on 18 and the crowd just went nuts. I mean, the crowd went as crazy as if he just won the tournament. And then Bridgman steps up to have to take his winning putt after, and the crowd clapped and was happy for him, but it was nothing like the roar they gave Rory. So yeah, that was all a very surreal scene with all the people sitting up on the hill. That was really cool.
Yeah, and even more power to him to be able to keep calm after that roar. When he makes that putt, and then have to go on and make to the 4-footer that he left him. So yeah, overall it was a great time. I think we got lucky walking around the tournament. Once everybody's out on the course, everybody kind of mobs to one area. But luckily we were able to find some spots, like get 3 holes kind of front and center to with the final group, which was just so cool.
Yeah, that stretch on 11 where we were basic. I mean, God, oh yeah, we forgot that. We're sitting on 11, and all of a sudden I'm looking at the approach shot of I think it was Kitayama, maybe it was
so,
or maybe Pock Eater. I can't remember, but I'm looking at this ball and I'm just like, oh, it's coming right at us.
Well, that was Bridgman.
It was Bridgman. That's
Yeah.
right. He had to hit from the like fescue style. That's right. So it was Bridgman approach shot into 11 and it's coming right at us. And of course, the whole group that was surrounding the green just mobs to where the ball is. And we were like, oh my God, front row seats to the green for Rory Bridgman. Thank you. So we just walked up there. We had such a great view on 11, and then we tracked back and we caught them back on 14 and got that nice Genesis like suite area and got to watch the balls come into 14. And then our spot on 17 was incredible. We really lucked out as far as the spots we watched from yesterday, but no greater spot than when we were sitting on, it was 8, and looking up and watching this $50 million mansion have just a sweetheart seat in the hedges overlooking 8. I mean, that was surreal.
Yeah. And I think like more people were flowing in as time went on. Like when we first saw, it was just a couple people. And then towards the end, they were just having a full blown, Genesis party. And I was like, dang, what I would give to be able to have that seat all day. That would be cool.
Well, I just think it's crazy. I mean, I get it. These people live a very different lifestyle. This is their second, third, fourth house probably. But it is crazy to see how many amazing houses line that course and we're just dead empty. Ghost towns.
Yeah. And I think that is so funny because some of them probably think, it's the Genesis. Like we're getting out of town because their streets are bogged with buses and people walking through them. And it's so funny because I feel like if that was me, I'd be like, I'm having people over Thursday to Sunday all day, every day to watch this. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, for sure. They definitely fly to Vail and Aspen to get away from all the pedestrians.
Definitely.
So nice. Well, it was a fantastic tournament. I mean, I know we'll talk about some of the funnier things that happened during it maybe a little bit later, but incredible tournament. We missed the hole in one, but we heard it, or at least I heard it a little bit more than you. But yeah, that was electric. There's some really good things. A lot of stars out. We were face to face. I mean, I could have I could have touched him, reached out and touched him, but Ben Affleck was walking the ropes with his son, which was so cool. I know
Yeah.
it's a celebrity thing, it's a lot of money, whatever, but to walk with your son, that's pretty sick. And they were following Rory and Bridgman the whole way, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I think that experience of being inside the ropes, probably kind of a pay to play type thing that goes to the donation fund and all that, which is awesome. And I just think that would be such a cool experience to do eventually. I think that's also, they probably didn't do it for them, so they didn't attract attention, but usually they announce like the honorary observers. I'm sure they didn't do that this time, but be kind of cool to have your name announced like right before Rory McIlroy's about to tee off. Kind of cool.
That's very cool. Nice. Well, yeah, we had a wonderful time. Shout out to Jacob Bridgman. Of course, I had to research and do a little bit to find out his background. Clemson grad, ACC player, did great in college, did great in Corn Ferry. Obviously, rose the ranks quickly, and then gets his first win at none other but Riviera and the Genesis. Phenomenal. Congrats to Bridgman on his first win. We don't have a live tournament to talk to about this week, right? They actually take a few weeks off. I don't think they play until March back again. So we don't have any news to talk about live except for the fact that 8 players have signed or paid their fees to the DP World Tour to keep their status, and they have to sign up for a few extra events so that they can be in contention to be picked for the Ryder Cup and for a couple other things as well. But that's the biggest news out of live. But the strangest thing about it is that John Rahm was one of the few holdouts who did not pay their fees on time. So I don't know what that means for John.
I'd like to think that I think we were talking earlier that he might be playing a longer game strategy, or maybe his contract's a little bit different or something like that. I hope it's that, because I need to preface this with, I love John Rahm. He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
Just one of the best in the world, 100%. But I remember when the talk was to start joining the tours and getting world ranking points and things like that, he was more outspoken about like, yeah, we deserve to have world ranking points. And a lot of people came out and be like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too, And so I hope that's not what's happening, where he's not paying it out of principle in hopes that they change the rules so that they can get into these events or whatever. But we don't know. I feel like there's just so much behind the scenes that we never will know about the live contracts and maybe what they're entitled to and what they're not. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure remains to be seen.
I kind of look at it as like what happened with Brooks, right? Everyone was like, oh, this is happening. Oh, now this is happening. Oh, this is happening. And it wasn't, as coincidental as that seems, or as quickly moving as it seems. This was all well planned out ahead of time. And so when I see something like this, I'm like, okay, so he's already figured out that he's going to let his live contract expire. Then he's going to go back and pay the fines for the PGA Tour. And then he's going to be able to be considered that way. Like there's just a lot of different things where I feel like for a person who cares so much about the Ryder Cup, he's not going to just, even off principle, not pay the fine unless he guarantees and knows he has a way in the future. So I think it's just a nice headline for now, but ultimately you will see John Rahm in the 2028 Ryder Cup, or 2027 Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. So moving on. TGL had a doubleheader. They have a doubleheader tomorrow as well, but today's doubleheader featured the Atlanta Drive defeating the Boston Common Golf Club by 5-2. Kind of a low scoring. They have a lot of holes, and so it's a little bit tighter one than we've seen in weeks past. But 5-2, Atlanta Golf beats Boston. It was Justin Thomas's return after an off-season surgery, which was kind of cool, and he did quite well for Atlanta. And then the other standout was Chris Gotterup. Did really well against Rory.
Yeah, and Chris Gotterup is just a name that keeps on coming up time and time again, and we're only going to hear it more. I know TGL doesn't necessarily translate to how you're going to play out on the PGA Tour, but I think it's great that he's getting so much airtime and being able to be a part of this. But yeah, it was Atlanta Drive who won the whole thing last year, right? Pretty sure.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, I'm not surprised that they're also doing pretty well. They have a great team, and kind of funny to have a double header. And I think they swapped out a couple of the team members for the first match to the second match. And I think what's his name? Lucas Glover came in for the second match. So it's cool. One thing I did notice, and this goes back to our conversation a couple weeks ago, was the tournament host. I can't remember the guy's name, but he interviews all the people in the stands and talks to the players. And Michelle Wee West was there and talking about the women's TGL league and all that. And she seems very excited to play. You know, she was an investor in the LAGC. And I kept thinking, I'm like, I really want to see her play with the guys. Like,
Right?
I really do, you know, like, and I know we've already talked about this, but I feel like there's still opportunity to merge it together. Maybe it's too late, but I think that would still be super cool.
I don't know when their season is slated to kick off or if they're just going to wait for next season. But if it's next season, I mean, they have plenty of times to change their mind on that. And when you have such a vocal and outspoken leader and top golfer like Nelly Korda pushing for it, you know, maybe it does have a shot at happening. I really do think that's the way to go. And then the other thing we talked about on the course yesterday is bringing in some celebrities, some decent golf celebrities. And I think the fusion of those three things, that's very entertaining to watch. It's very new age. It's borderline YouTube golf, which, you know, some will scoff at, but like that's the whole point of doing TGL is it's something different. It's for a newer audience, and I think they could do a lot with it.
Yeah, I think you're right. The high intensity competition, we can save that for the course. It's always going to be there in every tournament. So this is an opportunity to flex that a little bit.
Yeah. So the next match was your LAGC defeated Atlanta Drive. Maybe they retired 7-3 in the second of the doubleheader today. Yeah, you had some commentary that you wanted to say about the golf ball tracking systems.
Yeah, you know, this has come up time and time again. There's nothing. They haven't said anything on the broadcast, and I think it's because they can't. Right. But some of the shots, I think Max Homa was the most transparent in his reaction to like, I stuffed that. And it was either 100 yards too long or something crazy. And that seemed to have happened a few times tonight in a couple of the matches where they were just confused at what had actually happened. So it seems like we need to do some calibration there. Because almost I don't know if this matters too, but any wedge shot is going over the camera. I'm wondering if we need to move the screen closer or raise it higher or whatever. But clearly there's something that's not tracking to 100%. And I would even say like it's 80% there, which is not great. So yeah, I think there's opportunity to make that a little bit better. Otherwise, it's just kind of awkward if everyone knows like, oh no, that shot was fine. Why is it shanking to the right? You know what I mean?
They have to be coached to not let it get to them, because for golfers who care about if a ball is 2 yards past where they were hoping it would be, I mean, this must be frustrating as hell knowing that the tracking system's getting it way wrong. So I feel like they have to be coached like, hey, no matter what goes on, you can't blame, you know, you can't be up visually and you can't say anything that Mike's going to pick up about, you know, Tiger's partnership with Full Swing. Just so it's clear, it's not the Full Swing Netflix, but it's the Full Swing software ball tracking system. Yeah, don't dare anyone say anything bad about Tiger's partnership. So it's interesting. Who knows how they'll figure that out? That seems kind of like an unsolvable problem. They obviously, what the simple answer is, they need to move to TrackMan, and I think everyone would probably be just fine, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
No, neither do I. But I think you're right in that, one, the golfers know what they're doing. I think perfect example at Riv, I think Scotty said like, I'm going to hit it about 90. And then Ted Scott said, go for 92. That is accurate. They know what they're doing. So it's not surprising that they kind of know it better than the software, you know? So
For sure.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, great. YouTube, golf YouTube had an interesting week, had some pretty decent videos released, but honestly, it was a very quiet week. So much so that like one of the internet invitationals just like released on a Friday because nothing else was releasing, which I thought was funny. But Bob Does Sports did a full 18, a scramble against Tony Finau. So it was the 3 versus Tony. What a good guy. I mean,
yeah.
He just seems salt of the earth, very humble, down to earth kind of guy who's got incredible talent, great perspective, I would say, on life and golf and the balance. And yeah, I mean, I just really enjoyed watching it, and particularly kind of the stuff that he had to eventually say about Tiger and some of his stories. But it was honestly a great watch. He just seems like such a nice guy.
Definitely. And I feel like we've always known this about Tony. And so to even get, kind of a one-on-one video like that is really cool. Not many guys will agree to go play 18 holes with a YouTube golf group it was like 7:30 in the morning or something. And it looked very cold and uncomfortable. And I'm sure some pros would be like, what am I doing out here? But Tony just takes it in stride. He's hanging out and being himself, and just, yeah, what a cool guy.
Yeah, I wasn't, and I was surprised. The three topics of conversation that were a revolving door for them was eating, where to eat, right? What to eat. The salmon pink shirt heckle, which went viral years ago when Bob was back in his heckling days on a golf course, and honestly paid Tony a compliment, but he said something to the effect of like, no one wears salmon pink like Tony Finau. And apparently that just went viral. And apparently Tony gets it everywhere he goes now. So a lot of people comment on it, and he's just like, "Oh man, I just need this. I need this one to die down a little bit." And I thought that was funny. And then the last but not least, which was my favorite, was the Tiger stories. So as many of you guys probably know, Tiger won in 2019 at the Masters, but alongside him, watching it front row seat while playing and in contention, was Tony Finau. And so that, story has been told a million times, but Tony around hole 7, which is crazy that it took him till hole 7, but hole 7 finally catches up with Tiger, even though they're playing together, and finally has a long walk down the fairway. And Tony, being the nice social person he is, just goes, how are Sam and Charlie? And Tiger just looks at him and goes, they're fine. Just keeps walking. And
Yeah.
Tony was just like, from that moment, I knew, okay, I'm gonna shut up. And he joked the next time he spoke to Tiger that round was, "Hey, congrats on winning the green jacket." So it's just crazy. But he told one story that I had never heard before, which is for the President's Club down in Melbourne, where Tiger was a playing captain. There would be these long rides in the bus from the hotel to the course, and all the guys would be chatting, and it's morning tea time, so they'd be just getting into it and making a few jokes. And Tony said for every single day, Tiger would sit on that bus 45 minutes and stare at the back of the seat in front of him. No music, no nothing, just raw dogging life, just dead locked in from moment one while everything's going right. He said people were joking and talking around him. The dude did not break eye contact with the chair in front of him for a 45-minute bus ride every morning. Just like, and it's so funny because while Tony's saying these stories, he must have called Tiger a psycho like 12 times on the YouTube video. And you can tell, like, there is a part of Tony that admires what Tiger is, but there's also a piece where he wants nothing to do with that level of scrutiny, focus, and kind of locked in like that. So it was just really funny to hear someone talk, complimentary about Tiger, but also like, yeah, that dude's a psycho.
Yeah. I love that so much because you're not going to hear that from a reporter or something else. Like you hear it, that is a firsthand account of what it's like to be around Tiger Woods when he's looking for a win. And I get it. Like so many guys, you just want to have a good time. Like you're here having, a team event that you get to do once every couple years. But I just love it. I love hearing that. Like it shows you Tiger's mentality, but also the dichotomy of like, oh, no, he's not. He's much different than the rest of us.
Very much built different, yes. But that was a great video. I love what for everything that YouTube golf gets, like you just would never. I mean, you would never get that anywhere else, and like that's the value there. It's so great what Bob Does Sports does, and kind of humanizes it, and brings it to a different level. So really enjoyed that. Like I said, the invitational kind of took a opportunity to just release one of their things while it was very quiet over the weekend. And so they released the match between Bob and Wesley versus George and Chazzy. And it was a pretty good opening match. A lot of good golf played, but very entertaining. Like we've highlighted before, the hero of the Internet Invitational, or at least one of the biggest comeuppances was Chazzy, and it was good. It was peak entertainment and really fun watch. This next one, which I just actually watched today, made me a fan of a new channel that I really wasn't. I'd always seen in this peripheral, but I had never ever watched their channel alone. But this is why you do collabs and partnerships. It completely made me a huge fan. It was Bryson playing with Taco and then Sam Hyung Min and then Luke Kwan. And so it was a 2v2. It was Hyung Min and Bryson versus Taco and Luke Kwan. Dude, if you like deadpan comp, like if you just love really just, I don't know how to say, just really funny, just people. Hyungmin and Taco are two of the funniest people I've ever seen on a golf course. Their one-liners are generational. And I don't know why, but it's totally my type of comedy, and I had an incredible time watching it. Not to mention the video was insane. They were penalized like last place in fantasy football draft level penalties for every lost hole. It was insane. Taking shots if you lost, doing a shoey with milk, which just I almost wanna
Oh,
throw up just thinking about it. The cocoa powder challenge, or I think they did it with whey protein. These were horrible punishments, and they were just rolling through them, but very entertaining watch and made me a huge fan of those other 3.
I'll have to check that out. I have not seen that. That also sounds like my kind of humor and brings some comedy to the golf course.
It was good. And last but not least, Grant reunited with his I feel like it's a Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader relationship between these 2. But Grant reunited with Phil for his 3rd match. Grant was actually surprisingly up 2-0 on those matches,
Hmm.
but Phil came back and won this one. Series is 2-1 in favor of Grant.
Nice. I feel like we haven't seen much of Phil lately. And
Took a long break. For sure, he
yeah,
took a long break. So this was definitely a return. But yeah, seemed good, swinging it well. I think he shot 2 or no, he shot 3 under for the round, so played really well and, yeah, looking good as ever.
pretty good.
We are in interesting territory where we might get some Champions Tour, rivalry matches, Phil versus Tiger in a couple years. If Liv doesn't make it, 3, 4 years from now, Phil's looking for something to do, comes back, tour champions, Tiger's there as well. Be interesting. A lot of
Oh,
tickets to,
God.
tournaments that aren't really well attended.
Yeah. And I wonder, will the purses go up? Is it going to get better airtime and all that? Like, I could see it. People want to watch Tiger Woods play golf no matter what
Yeah.
format it is. So that's a good point. I would like to see that.
All right, let's make our way to the next tournament for this week, which is the Cognizant Classic. Do you know where it is?
Florida.
Yes, it kicks off the Florida swing. I kind of caught you off guard yesterday because I was like, "Oh, how was the research going?" And you're like, "I don't even know where they're being played this year." But to answer that question, it's at PGA National down in Florida, and yeah, we have some interesting past winners. So last year, if you'll remember, Joe Highsmith, who was like a fresh, I want to say rookie or maybe 2nd-year player from Pepperdine. He was a great college player. He took it down last year for his I believe his first victory ever. And then Austin Eckroat the year before, Chris Kirk the year before that, and Seb Straka back in 2022. Interesting course, kind of requires everything, doesn't highlight one thing, plays pretty standard to all the numbers for the average courses. I guess the greens in regulation are slight bit easier, like 12% or 15% from the average. So quite a bit more actually. Easily hit greens in regulation. But yeah, based on those names, more than likely you're gonna have someone come from well down the betting sheet and secure a win here. I was saying I think it's one of the biggest gaps I've ever seen from a past champion to what their betting odds are the year after. So Joe Highsmith is over 150 to 1. this year to repeat. So interesting, yeah, interesting golf course. I just have a tendency to want to kind of dig from the bottom of the barrel, but I might resist the temptation this week. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of tough. It's when there's not it's so dumb. When there's not huge names in the field,
Yeah.
only big names, that's you have to really think about who else you think can take the lead here. So if I want a big name, the person I'm looking at is Adam Scott. He had a great round yesterday, final round at Riviera. And we were talking like he's a little bit older, still just incredible form, so he's got it. And he seems to hit all the numbers pretty well for this course. So I'm picking him. This is kind of a wild card for me, but Hao Tong Lee. I don't think he's played the past couple weeks, but what an entertaining golfer. He's just got a great attitude and seems like he's having a great time. But he also just kind of comes out of nowhere and shoots these incredible scores and is clearly able to win. So I like him now that he's back in the field. And then lastly, Ryan Gerard. He's played very well just in the past few weeks. And I think I had picked him maybe for farmers or something like that. But overall, he's just playing very well. So I'm picking him too.
Yeah, we actually saw him hit a couple shots yesterday at Riv. I love that pick. Ryan Gerard's probably my favorite pick of yours for that group. I do love some Hao Tong Lei. I just always worry about win equity with him and if he can get it across like T5 for sure. I love that bet. He's my favorite to do like a T10, T5 in the Open Championship. He just always just pops out of nowhere for that. Yeah, he's one of my favorites for that. Like I said, I'm going to mix it in a little bit. I am going towards the top and a little bit more chalky here. I'm going to do my famous. I swear to God, I'm going to hit it one time this season, but I'm going to do the Højgaard double. So I'm going to take Nikolai and Rasmus. Usually I play the lottery and just pick one. I'm going to pick both this tournament. And then I'll go a little bit farther down, but not too far down. I'm going to go Max McGreevy. So he comes in with a decent amount of form, but more importantly, he's played here before. He has a little bit of history, unlike some of these other people who are playing this for the first time. And then, yeah, T.D. Green, he's doing quite well. So I'm going to take a little flyer on Max McGreevy to round out my top three picks.
I like those too. Guys who have been performing well and have good stats for strokes gained for this course. Yeah, I like that.
Nice. Well, in lieu of not having a traditional pro shop drop, which we normally have a section to talk about the latest releases in product, we're kind of blending it with one of our games today. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to run you through a blind ranking of the most desirable merch across golfing. And this is actually stems from an article I read in Business Insider that the newest thing on Wall Street for Wall Street finance bros to rock at the bars after work is really exclusive golf merch. So you have that little logo on the puffer jacket or on the hat I guess the finance bros like the vest. They like the cutoff vest with the puffer. That is apparently what they're doing is they're going and playing at these exclusive courses, getting the merch and flaunting it as if it were the latest, Louis Vuitton purse and all that stuff. So it's kind of a funny thing to see. I read one article that said it's stolen valor if you get merch that you haven't played at. So if you got a friend who played it and you got merch, it doesn't count. It's stolen valor.
That is aggressive,
isn't it? Yes, I think it's all ridiculous, but nonetheless provided a great topic for our first game today, which is we're going to blind rank the most desirable merch, maybe by those finance bros in Wall Street. But it's yours. It's your ranking. So we're going to start off with a great one, Crooked Stick Golf Club out of Indiana. I'm showing you, or you have the logo in front of you. Great name, great logo, a pretty good golf course in the top 100 golf courses in America. Curious your thoughts there.
Yeah, honestly, it's so funny what I associate logos to. And this one specifically is Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003, I think. It's one of the versions. Crooked Stick is one of the ones that you get for free and you don't have to buy. And so I was like, oh, I would always play Crooked Stick. So I love this because it's unique. It's not your typical golf logo, but it still represents one of the best golf courses in the world. But I feel like there's a lot others that I'm thinking of. So how many do I have here total?
You have 8 today.
I have 8. I'm going to put that at 6.
Okay. 6, that's good. I like that. I like that. It's not the hardest to get. You could go play cricket stick. So there's that. I think it is a great name, great logo. This next one has one of my favorite logos and is actually kind of closer to you. It's in the Bay Area. It's in Santa Cruz, Pasatiempo.
Great one. Also, just a very unique logo, something different than your standard flag and pin and all that. Is that a public too, or no?
Yes, it is.
This one is. Okay. I like it. I just think it's a really cool logo. I'd say 5.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
For the logo alone, I think it is amazing. Funny known fact, though, I know he did a lot of Bay Area courses in addition, but designer Dr. Alistair McKenzie also did, obviously, Augusta, did Pasatiempo.
I did not know that. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. All right, this next one, very well-known one, near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, Pine Valley.
Great one. Definitely elite. I can see people flexing on this one a lot.
This one makes its way to the streets of Wall Street for sure.
Yes. I would say 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, I think honestly the letdown there is it's kind of a boring logo. It's kind of
There's not much to it. It's more the name. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. Okay. Moving along, one that's probably near and dear to your heart, or at least local to where you grew up, LAG.
I actually love this logo. I think you're right. It probably is because it's personal to me, and I have the CC mug from the US Open a couple years ago. It's a cool one. A lot of people don't like it. I've seen things online. People say there's nothing, sophisticated about it. I'm like, yeah, I think that's kind of why I like it. It's a little more relaxed. So I did 6, 5, and 3. I'll put that at 4.
It's a good spot. I like it.
Yeah.
I actually do think it's one of the more interesting logos, the old kind of longer triangle flag. It's kind of like nautical in a sense. I like it a lot. All right, this next one, very iconic. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. The Masters logo.
I mean, I'm wearing it right now. So stolen valor, I guess, because I have not played Augusta National. Actually, even more so, I haven't been to the Masters.
Yeah,
Somebody gave this to me as a gift.
I think that the stolen valor there is if you haven't been to the Masters. I don't think you necessarily need to play Augusta, but if you haven't been to the Masters, then yes, obviously stolen valor.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to admit that, but I get it. But dang, this is just one of the most recognizable logos in golf. Like it just is. I think I just have to put that. See, the problem is, and I want to rank it high, it's not reflective of, like, I don't think the finance bros might rank this as high because they can just buy
everywhere.
it.
It's
everywhere. It's everywhere. I think because it's like we're ranking the best merch, right? I feel like I would have to put that lower, but I've already used up a bunch of spots. Yeah, this is hard.
Make the brave move, Casey.
I'm going to put this down. Number 7.
I think you'll be happy.
Okay.
I think you'll be happy you did that.
Okay.
Okay, this next one, we're going very exclusive, about as exclusive gets. Finance bros would be flexing with this one, Cypress Point.
Probably the most commented one from our video a little while ago, Cypress Point. Yeah, and I'm glad I put the Masters logo down there because I'm going to put Cypress Point up at number 1.
Yeah.
Number
1, I think, the logo is fantastic. I mean, it takes its inspiration from the natural course itself. It's an iconic tree. Yeah, it all just blends. And I honestly think this, like, nerding out on the design, but like the script that they use for Cypress Point, fantastic. Perfect. I think no question that that's a great number 1. Although I'm going to hit you with a tough one to follow that. But this is the very unique, which may not even be known to people, is the Augusta National Golf Club insignia, which is not the same as the Masters, that you can only purchase if you play the course. This is only found in the pro shop, not the merch tent at the Masters tournament, and is not available for public sale.
I'm glad I held on then to that second spot. I'd have to put this at number 2. To be able to play Augusta National is very different than attending the Masters, which I'm sure we can all agree.
Yeah.
So
some would give up $25,000 for it.
Some might. I don't know any of them personally, but yeah, I would put that at number 2. Like that is a flex and a half, to where if I saw somebody like wearing something like that, I'd be like, who are you? And can I buy you a coffee? Can I buy you dinner? Anything?
Exactly. Do you know how much you try to butter up someone who has access to Augusta National? I mean,
Mhm.
geez. Yeah, that's a great number 2. I'm really glad you made the tough decision to put the Masters logo down. Alright, this last one, which slots into 8, which I think is actually a decent place for it, although I will say this is probably the most talked about merch just in the golfing community, Cabot, and I get it. I mean, it's a phenomenal place that takes care. I mean, it's down in Florida, so Cabot Citrus, if you haven't seen it, it's like this orange logo, an actual orange logo. But yeah, very, very kind of talked about golf course down in Florida, and it's just all the rage right now. So I would bet if there are Wall Street Bros flexing their merch, I would bet this appears on 15% of the
Well,
puffer jackets down in Wall Street.
okay, well, I mean, you're right. I think it left it in a good spot at the bottom,
It's
but
overrated. I think it's a little
yeah,
overrated. Yeah.
it kind of looks to me just like a juice company.
Yeah. No, you did great. All right, let's continue. That was a great job. I think you had a great list, and I wish I could get any of those, even if it is stolen valor. I wish I could get any of those top 4. So that was great. All right, another topic that came up yesterday, which is obviously, well, as we were walking Riviera, we were talking about how wonderful a course it is, how you grew up to be a LA County, Long Beach County kid, and you've played at some great courses, but you've never played at Riviera, and it's something that you would love to do eventually. And I kind of were testing you like, oh man, if it were possible to get a tee time, would you just come down from the bay? And you said I would drop anything. And so we're going to prove that we're going to test out that theory today in a game I like to call what would you miss. So this is what would you miss to play around at Riviera. Okay. So the
It's
first
pretty
up
good.
is Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I would miss Thanksgiving dinner.
I think people miss Thanksgiving dinner for like 50% off their TV. So
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a no-brainer.
that's an easy one. That's an easy one for me. Yeah.
Okay, good. A friend's birthday dinner.
I have very supportive friends. And so I think if I were to say, hey, I love you, unfortunately, this kind of potentially once in a lifetime opportunity came up, they would understand. So I would give that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Or
good.
I'm a bad friend.
Yeah. Hey, if they don't realize how big of a deal this is for you, they maybe shouldn't be your friend.
That's true.
All right, these are as the old cash cab saying used to go. These are getting hard and harder still. A big presentation at work. You're just gonna flub it, and oh, I got sick. Big presentation at work. You're missing it.
That's actually an easier decision than the previous two,
Nice.
which shows you that I could be a better employee,
There you
but
go.
I can use a vacation day. I'll use a sick day. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. It can. Everything can be done again. Just reschedule.
Yeah.
All right, this next one, a little bit harder. Family vacation.
That is hard. Like I love my family vacations, always have, but I would like to think in the same way that my friends would understand, my family would understand. But I could see the argument of one round of golf for 4 hours versus like a week-long vacation. That I actually might go to my family vacation on that one. I think
Good
I would
for
feel too.
you.
I think
I would have actually disagreed. If it were my version of Riviera somewhere, I actually think I'd probably pass on the family vacation. But that's good for you. I like that. Okay. This next one, very interesting topic, your college graduation.
my own.
Yes, your own.
Yeah. Yeah, I would miss that. That's fine.
I think so too. I think that's
Yeah.
another no-brainer. God, graduations are horrible.
But yeah, we're out there for hours and you're just sweating. Like I know I barely passed my class. You don't need to remind me.
No, I am totally on board with you. I thought I might trip you up on that one, but I agree. No, I agree. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
All right, this one's might be harder for me. Tickets to the Super Bowl. You're just gonna pass up tickets to the Super Bowl that you had and just go play Riviera.
That would be really hard. Then again, if my team's not in the Super Bowl, maybe for sake of argument, I have to say that they are. I like football. I will always watch football, but I went to the waste management instead of watching the Super Bowl. So yeah, I would still go play Riv. I would miss out on the Super Bowl.
That's a tough one. That's
Yeah.
that's a tough one. I second guess that one for me just because how many times are you gonna get a chance or pony up enough to go to a Super Bowl? just pass it up. That's a tough one, but it's close. It's close. All
Yeah.
right, this next one, which is funny, you got a bachelor party planned, your bachelor party planned, and you're just sending it. You get have a
Oh,
fun time without me. I gotta go to Riv.
no, no. Having had my bachelor party less than a year ago, that was the best time.
Okay,
No, I wouldn't give that up. I would want to go to Vegas again.
love this. This is great. Next one, your dream job interview. It's not guaranteed you're gonna get the job, but
Oh,
would you pass up on your dream job interview?
that's hard because what is the interview process like to become a professional golfer? That's tough.
It's around at Riv.
Yeah, true. You have to qualify. Man, that is a tough one. It can open a lot of doors. You know what though? Like this is the thing. I could get another interview eventually.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. But I would pass. I would go to Riv. I would play Riv
Nice.
and pass on the
Okay, that's a
interview.
good one. That's a good one. Okay. This next one better be faster than that putt we saw yesterday. The birth of your first child.
I would, of course, not skip the birth of my first child.
I
Of
don't know.
course.
You answered that with a lot of words. You could have just said no.
I wanted to make sure if I said no that they're like, he's not going to go to the birth of his first child.
Regardless of how you say it, I'm going to clip it the other way. So,
Yes. Breaking the fourth wall. Yes. I'm going to the birth of my first child.
perfect.
Jeez. Yeah,
Perfect. You did really good on those ones. I think that was a good game.
that's good. We'll see what the fans think of that.
Yeah. State your commitment. You gave up a lot to go to Riv. I just want to put that on the board. You gave up a lot. So if anyone has a connection to Riviera and you're listening, you hook Casey up right now. He will leave a Thanksgiving dinner, a birthday, friend's birthday dinner, a big presentation of work, a college graduation, Super Bowl, and his dream job interview.
No questions asked. No problem.
Perfect. You got the next one.
I do. So, we were talking about YouTube golf and getting to know a lot of the players, right? That in addition to TGL, in addition to miking up the players on the course, I think we've gotten to kind of peek behind the curtain and really get to know these guys a lot better. And so I thought it'd be fun to do a King of the Hill game of the best overall golf personality. So whatever that means to you, somebody's that's funny or personable or whatever. So we'll go through them one by one and you'll pit them against each other and then you'll have somebody at the end. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's great. Let's do it.
All right. So we'll start with Max Homa and Joel Damon.
Whoa, that's a heavy lineup to start.
Yeah.
Jeez. I've just seen too many funny videos recently of Homa, and I love his brand of trash talking. I'm gonna go Homa.
Okay. All right. Max Homa or Ricky Fowler.
That's
He's
kinda like-
wearing the orange every time, he's hyping up the crowd with his chants and he's telling them to cheer while he's putting.
So I think I told you this, but my college roommate beat Ricky Fowler early on in his career in a golf
Yeah.
tournament. I would love to tell him that personally, but no, I'm gonna stick with Homa. I'm gonna stick with
Okay.
Homa.
I like that. Max Homa or Bryson DeChambeau.
Damn. I didn't think I'd go this way, but he's become too interesting of a person. You just have to pick his brain. I'd kill myself to miss that opportunity. So I'm going to go Bryson.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the whole nother side of golf he is really. So I understand that. All right. Bryson DeChambeau or Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Okay. In what way? Like, what do you want to talk to him about? What is it about him that you feel like he's got the golf personality?
Well, I think for one, the aura. I just don't know how to say it. The aura. We talked about the Tony Finau. To be close to that, to understand who that person is, what his interactions with, normal people are, his personality is hilarious. Like that's the side that we've gotten to see later on his career. Once the whole Tiger smiling versus not smiling, gotten to see in the past, 5 or 6 years, and the humanizing of him is such a new part to his personality that we haven't seen, and that's phenomenal. So you pair that up with all the historic things and the stories, and I was just because of Riv, dude. His first round at Riv was alongside Sam Snead. Like that doesn't even make sense to me how that's
Incredible.
possible. And so the legacy of his long career and just all the stories he has is
I totally get that. And you're right. Like, I don't think people really appreciate how great it is to have Tiger Woods in the way that we get to watch him now. He's not just binded to the game in a very competitive way. Like he's transcended golf to become like the face of it in many ways, which is super cool. Okay, so Tiger Woods or Lee Trevino?
Lee Trevino is a legend. I'm not going to dismiss that so quickly. So I'll pause here for 2 seconds, but I'm going to still go Tiger Woods.
Yeah, a lot of people love Lee Trevino and his jokes and his sayings and everything. Just like
Yes.
what I would love to just share a
Wore
whiskey
that
and talk
baggy
to him.
shirt with the trucker. I would die. I mean,
Oh
that's
my God.
incredible. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still go Tiger Woods. Great
Okay.
personality.
Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy?
I guess the word is understood Rory's mentality, like where he's like how he views the game of golf. Like if, he's in the spotlight and does this and goes home and there's a part of him that, is tired and turns it off. And I just don't think Tiger probably ever turns it off. Like I said, I think the word is I just don't understand Rory's mindset a little bit as much. So I'd still have to go Tiger.
I get that. I think a lot of people probably feel similarly about Rory, especially over the past few years. He's had a lot more stuff outside of golf too. So I get that. All right. So Tiger Woods or Tommy Fleetwood?
Again, just seems like such a good guy. I mean, God, his clip of his little boy at the Masters last year going viral of how he just needs to prep better and he'll be all right and get it over the water. Like, that just shows that he's probably an incredible father as well, and seems like a great guy. It's going to take something really strong to take this away from Tiger. So I'm gonna keep going Tiger, but Tommy's a
Okay.
great guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a stronger one. Tiger Woods or Tony Finau?
Of course, as I like to call him, Tiger Finau. Big tone. I'm gonna stick with my guns. I hyped him up so much earlier. Great personality, total different polar opposite maybe mentality than Tiger. I'm gonna go just of what I guess I envision the pinnacle of what I'd want my golf personality to be. I'm gonna go big tone.
Okay.
That's crazy, but I'm gonna go big tone. Sticking to my
No,
guns.
I totally get that pick. Like, I think it's a much more relevant, relatable pick. You have kids, he has kids. It's just an overall good guy.
Yeah.
And being able to do all the
Has a
YouTube
lot
stuff
more
is
kids
awesome.
than me. Just to point that
Yeah,
out. Yes, he's got like 15 more kids than me, but yes.
true. Okay, so you've pivoted to Tony Finau. We
Mhm.
got a couple more hard ones. Tony Finau or John Daly?
Yeah, John Daly is an enigma. Might be one of the greatest golf personality. I mean, almost like a character, right? Like his his everything is almost like if you wrote it in a book, like a semi-satirical
Comic
comedy
book.
about golf. I'm gonna go John Daly. That's like, yeah. Some of his stories, like that old Tiger story where he's sitting in the clubhouse and he's drinking 5 beers and Tiger walks in from his round and then goes back out to practice and then comes back in and John's still drinking and Tiger goes, "Hey, we're paired up tomorrow." And John goes out and kicks his ass after that. That's like, I don't know. That's like crazy. I'm gonna go John Daly on that one.
I think that's a good pick. Also, by the way, that had to have driven Tiger Woods insane.
Oh
I
yeah.
would be so pissed if at the end of that, when I'm trying to grind out and meanwhile he's stumbling through the clubhouse, like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So last one, John Daly or Kevin Kisner?
Oh, Kiz, I didn't expect that to be my anchor. I'm definitely going, no disrespect to Kiz. I'm going John Daly. It would have been really funny if it was Kevin or if it was Kisner and Tiger to end it. Those are two
Yeah.
clashing personalities from what I hear. But yeah, I'm gonna stick winner, chicken dinner, John Daly.
I think that's a great pick. I mean, a lot of good names on this list. But John Daly he's been around forever, and we've seen clips of him from the U.S. Open and smoking cigarettes and drinking Diet Coke, and it's just like, man,
And
he just
now
does it differently.
a major movie, a star in Happy
Mhm.
Gilmore too. So
Yep.
we've seen it all for John Daly.
Yep.
All right, this last one will close it out. We were walking around the course yesterday, and we got to see all kinds of things. I mean, we really did see it all, and it just brought up this topic of the crazy behavior that you see at a golf tournament. And it's been a couple years since I'd been to one. Just kind of came all rushing back, and I know a lot of people give golfers flack, like, oh, what, they can't deal with like a little bit of noise in their backswing or when their putting has to be quiet. it is never quiet on a golf course. Like all these grandstands, all these dude, people are watching the broadcast, people are drinking. I mean, there is not an ounce of that golf course that's quiet. And so it's funny. It brings it all back to what people are doing. So I got a list. We're going double feature here. We're going two blind rankings today. I'm going to have you blind rank 1 through 8, 1 through 8, these crazy golf behaviors that you see at the tournament. 1 being the craziest and 8 being somewhat acceptable.
Okay, let's
All
do
right.
it.
So, number 1, yelling, "It's going in" on a putt that misses by a country mile.
We did see that.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder if it's just the perspective of the person or if they're just saying it to say it. Like we saw a lot of that. Yeah, that one is just ridiculous. But I'll put it lower. I'll put that like a 6.
Okay. That's a good starting spot. I saw this one as well. Asking for an autograph mid-round.
Yeah, I feel like I've always known that like they don't do autographs while they're playing. They're locked in, but also seeing that and not by kids, you know. It's like adults trying to get some flag signed. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? That is pretty funny. I'll put that at 4.
Okay. Screaming something ridiculous after a drive. The classic Baba Booies, the mashed potatoes, all that stuff.
I feel like it's just the same guy going to every tournament doing it. Yeah. To me, it's so dumb, in my opinion. But it's not that crazy. It's just more annoying. I'll put that at 8.
Yeah, that's great. You're doing great. This next one is the I don't know, hyped up version of that, which is, oops, you yelled a little too early in the backswing. Just as it clips that ball, yelled out your big comment right before he hit.
Yeah. Apologies to Hideki Matsuyama at the Waste Management where it happened several times. That is so ridiculous. And by the way, there's like several clips of this happening to Tiger specifically. And man, the crowd turns on you very quickly. So PSA to everybody, if you're going to do this, you better make sure they have made contact with the ball. That's up there for me. That's I'm going to say 3.
Yeah, that's good. From 8 to 3, that makes a difference. So don't be early.
Yeah.
Don't be early. Crossing the fairway while they're actively playing.
Did we see this yesterday?
We didn't see this one yesterday, but we
Okay.
talked about
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth's infamous one, or Collins' infamous one on Jordan Spieth. But
Yeah.
I meant like a patron accidentally going through the ropes
Mhm.
while they're playing through.
Which I have seen too. There's an amazing clip of a kid like running out and the dad just like running back and grabbing him and running as fast as he can. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. But what do I have left? I think that's crazy, but I'll put it at 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So I think you filled out the back half.
Okay.
8, 7, 6. You have 1, 2, and 5 left.
Yeah.
Okay. Picking up a live golf ball.
Oh my God. I like get anxiety when I see clips of this. Yeah, that's got to be number 1.
It's got to
You got to know. You got to know you're at a golf tournament. That is just like my thought is, what do you think's happening in this situation that is okay to pick up the golf ball? I don't know.
I think it's a person who's obviously not around golf a lot, and just the natural instinct of something dropping in front of you and being like, "Oh, I got it." It's something just takes over in their mind where they just forget
Yeah.
where they are. Horrible thing. And as soon as they realize it, they drop it like it's a hot potato. I mean, like, "Oh my God, what did I just do?" Drop it. But yeah, it's got to be 1. That's crazy.
That's definitely got to be number 1. It's so funny because I have such a vivid memory of going to my first tournament at Riviera and my dad being like, "Hey, by the way, you can't talk when they're hitting. And if you see a ball, you don't pick it up." I just remember that so clearly because the last thing you want to do is have your kid do it. So, yeah.
This next one, this happened too many times. Cheering because you saw it on the broadcast, even though it happened 2 minutes ago in front of you.
This was the strangest thing. We looked at each other like 3 or 4 times. Like, how does this keep happening? And I get it. One thing, like if you're in the booth and you're watching the screen, you can't see out to the green, but they had TVs outside and there are people in the front row that are cheering. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, that was crazy. And then it messed up the guys who were trying to putt while they're cheering. So I think I have 2 left. That's got to be number 2.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that was happening, and that happened a number of times. All right, this next one will close it out. Asking who a player is while it's right there on the leaderboard. Like the big LED screens that show who is at the hole right there. We had a person come up and go, "Hey, who is that?" And I had to nicely say, "Well, that's the leader, Jacob Bridgman." And then the next golfer to him is Rory McIlroy. And her response was, "Oh yeah, I know that guy."
That was so funny because I think a few people around us had heard her say that too. And if you had looked at Jacob Bridgman, he was standing lining up his putt, and directly behind him was the leaderboard. So it was basically like he had a label pointing to him. And that was good. So I'm glad that's at 5 though, but that was pretty funny.
Yeah, 5 is good. It's acceptable. It happens. I get it. But it was just so funny. I think I missed the opportunity. I could have said any freaking name in the world. I could have said, "Oh, that's Happy Gilmore and Chubbs McGee," and literally should be, "Oh, okay, good." Yeah. Anyways, what
So
crazy
good.
behavior. I can't believe we saw as many of those as we did yesterday.
There were a couple more on here that it didn't make the list. I think if you remember, guys wearing their cleats, thought was kind of funny.
It's kind of ridiculous.
It's not
Yes.
crazy behavior, but it's kind of funny. Thought what is a little crazier, which I don't even know how you got this in here, but one guy had a rangefinder, and it was just like, we have shot tracer, man. Like, we don't need you
That
with
might
the
have been too
rangefinder.
crazy to make the list. I couldn't believe someone had their rangefinder out.
Yeah, man. There's people
Well,
do
that's a
funny
good one.
things. That's a good one. Yeah.
All right. Well, incredible end to an incredible weekend. So happy we got to walk the course, watch Jacob Bridgman take down his first tournament. Life changing stuff. It was really fun to do that with you yesterday. But yeah, we got to do it again. Got to pick the next tournament, make it happen. That was a lot of fun.
Definitely. I think we should try something outside California. We'll make a trip out of it. Bring the families out to West Palm Beach or something.
Sounds good. Don't bring them to the golf course though. All right. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for joining and see you next time.